Hello everyone. I'm the storyteller from the channel Whispered Tales and I'm here to help you today. I know you use this video to fall asleep, so before that, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Also, where are you from? At what time are you watching? Now, get comfortable and relax. Ezra Thorne arrived at the manor just as the sky split open with rain. The letter had been vague, an inheritance from a relative he never knew, a solicitor's name he barely remembered, but curiosity, and the recent loneliness of his life in London, drove him to Mare Holt. The house stood 3 stories tall, its slate roof jagged against the grey clouds, windows shuttered like closed eyes. The iron gate groaned as he entered the overgrown path. Inside, the must of long-sealed spaces embraced him. Wallpaper peeled in long strips like shedding skin. A portrait in the foyer stared down at him, a woman in black, unsmiling, a locket held in one bony hand. A will had been left in a locked desk. The key, the letter said, would be obvious. It had been under the portrait, behind a loose panel. Ezra turned the key, opened the drawer, and found the document atop a stack of brittle yellowed paper. "You are the last surviving heir," it read. "Keep the house. Keep its history. Keep it quiet." The house creaked, as if listening. Ezra chose a bedroom on the 2nd floor. The sheets were stale, but the mattress still held shape. He left the door open a crack. That night, the wind moaned through the eaves, and the walls ticked as they settled. But then something else. A whisper. Faint, behind the plaster. Not words, exactly, more like breath. He stood, pressed his ear to the wall. Cold. Again, a hush. Then scratching. Like nails tracing lines in wood. He searched the adjoining room, but it was empty. Only dust and a cracked mirror. The whisper came again. This time, closer. He did not sleep. The next morning, Ezra examined the wall. No panels. No gaps. Just old wallpaper and time. He tapped it. Hollow. That night, the whisper returned. He lit a candle, followed the sound down the hall, down the stairs, to the basement door. It hadn't been there the day before. Dust covered the knob. The door opened with a sigh. Stairs led down into dark. The air grew colder. Wet. The candle flickered. Something moved just at the edge of the light, too tall, too narrow. Then it spoke. Ezra. He ran. He did not sleep. On the 3rd day, he found the journal. It lay beneath a loose floorboard in the library, wrapped in oilskin. The cover was leather. The name branded into it, Agatha Thorne. Inside, the pages were filled with tight handwriting. Notes about the house. Its moods. Its hunger. She had lived alone for 30 years. Until she didn't. Voices behind the walls, she wrote. Whispers that grow clearer with obedience. Another page, the house listens. It learns. It remembers. Ezra read deep into the night. The candle flickered. The whisper returned. But this time, he listened. Following the journal's clues, Ezra found the outline of a door behind a bookshelf. He pushed. It gave way with a hiss of stale air. The hidden room was small, windowless, lined with candles long melted to stumps. A single chair in the center. A mirror above it, warped and silver. He sat. The mirror reflected not just his face, but others behind him. Dozens. Watching. He turned. Nothing. Back to the mirror. The figures were closer. He reached toward the glass. Cold. It whispered. Join us. He fled. He did not sleep. That night, there was a knock at the door. Ezra answered, heart pounding. A man and woman stood there, and a boy. Pale, dressed in mourning black. "We are your family," the man said. "We've always been here." The woman took Ezra's hand. "You've heard the house. You understand." They entered. The boy touched the walls, smiled. "You've done well," the man said over dinner. "The house is pleased." The fire roared without kindling. The shadows leaned in. The boy whispered in Ezra's ear. "You'll see more soon." Ezra stared at the open page. The others were silent, watching him. The book smelled of copper and mildew. Its pages pulsed ever so faintly, like thin skin stretched over a drum. There were no lines, but shapes lingered faintly beneath the surface. Waiting. Ezra picked up the quill the woman handed him. It looked new. It wasn't. "What do I write?" he asked. The boy spoke for the first time. "It already knows." Ezra touched the tip of the quill to the page. His hand moved on its own. Words spilled forth, names, dates, places. Stories he had never heard but somehow knew. The rise and fall of the thorn line. Its bargains. Its blood debts. The rituals. The sacrifices. Each word he wrote etched itself into his bones. He could feel it, the weight of history sinking into his skin. The boy began to hum. The fire dimmed. And when Ezra finished the final word on the page, the house trembled. Not violently, but like something had been fed. Satisfied. The old man leaned back. "It's begun." Ezra felt hollow. "Used." The woman closed the book gently. "You've accepted it. That is enough for now." He stood. "I didn't accept anything. I didn't ask for this." "No," she said, rising too. "But the blood does." That night, Ezra awoke to the sound of something shifting beneath the floorboards. Not rats. Not pipes. Something larger. He followed the noise through the corridors with a lamp and found himself before the library again. The door creaked open at his touch. The room looked the same, except for one thing: the rug had moved. Beneath it, a trapdoor. He opened it and descended the ladder, the air growing colder with each rung. He emerged in a second house, an inverted mirror of the one above. The walls were stone, damp and breathing. The layout was identical, but reversed, darker. Wet. Portraits lined the hallway. Ezra's face stared back from several, younger in some, older in others. All of them smiled. At the end of the hallway stood another version of the bedroom, his bedroom. Inside, he found a bed identical to the one upstairs, except this one had manacles affixed to the posts. Chains. A black mirror above the headboard. He approached it, trembling. In the reflection, he saw not himself, but Agatha. "You came far," she whispered from the other side. "Now, let me show you the rest." Her hand reached out from the mirror. He didn't run. He took it. And the room collapsed into darkness. Ezra floated in a place beyond rooms. Time unraveled. He was both young and ancient. He stood in a space of ash and velvet, where voices whispered endlessly. Agatha circled him. "Do you see now?" she asked. He tried to speak. No sound came. She touched his chest, and suddenly he saw visions like lightning behind his eyes. The founding of Mare Holt. The first stone laid in the house. The covenant with the thing in the deep earth, in exchange for power and preservation. A sacrifice each generation. Blood. Memory. Names written into the stone so the house would never forget. "You were always chosen," Agatha said. "Even before your first breath." "What if I refuse?" Ezra finally managed. The walls around them shuddered. The house groaned. You cannot. The house is you now. Its will is your breath. Its heart, your hunger. Ezra wept. He thought of his flat in London. His old life. Forgotten. Paper thin now. You don't have to be afraid, Agatha said. The house will guide you. She pressed a key into his hand. You are the keeper now. With that, the mirror shattered, and Ezra awoke in his bed. He clutched the iron key. Below him, the house sighed. Ezra woke with the iron key in his hand and the dawn light seeping through the warped curtains. Something had shifted. The house no longer resisted him, it waited. Downstairs, the fire burned without wood. The relatives were gone. Only the boy's drawing remained, etched into the hearth. A spiral within a spiral. Ezra unlocked a door he had never seen before, just behind the grandfather clock. It opened into a study lined with walls of ledgers, dates, names, generations of thorns. And a final blank line beneath them all. He knew what he had to do. He sat at the desk. Picked up the pen. Wrote his name. The ink sank into the page like blood into soil. The walls hummed. The house exhaled. Outside, the trees leaned inward, as if in reverence. Ezra stood, straightened his coat. He walked room to room, adjusting picture frames, dusting shelves. Familiarity bloomed in his chest. He was no longer a guest. He was home. In the evening, as the wind hissed through the trees, the house whispered to him again, no longer hungry, but speaking, telling stories, memories. Ezra listened. He would keep them all. And when the next letter was sent, heavy with ink and sealed in red wax, Ezra would know what to write. You are the last surviving heir to the estate of Ezra Thorne. Your presence is required.